an Escalade is really expensive now.
And really hasn't had much competition.
Yeah, no, it's been so good. But what if you undercut the Escalade by about $40,000 Canadian in form of the all-new 2025 INFINITI QX80? I know, Infinity brand and all that. And you're like, yeah, it's not as good. However, this is probably go for it. There's a lot of good here.
And it's not bad looking.
Yeah, anthracite gray with the black roof option. I do love the front end. The QX80 always is very bulbous and big looking.
But this works.
It works. It's very unique. Nobody will think you're driving an Escalade. Nobody will think you're driving Yukon. This is very uniquely QX80.
It has presence.
It does have presence. And the interior is quite the looker. No self-close. Critique number one. Otherwise, Daniel, woo, this is nice.
Yeah, this is a lot of nice areas.
Yeah, a lot of really good materials. Dare I say you are not losing out on anything compared to an Escalade in terms of material quality and variety?
No, I don't think so either.
This is really nice, and I love the variety. So first of all, we have this wood with kind of like, I love how the gaps in between the lines.
Yep.
It's good difference, and we got, yes, it's piano black, but we have at least something on there.
Super soft.
Really plush leathers, perforation patterns in there, all this contrast stitching, really nice steering wheel. This is genuinely a really nice cabin that doesn't have to hide itself from any other competitors. This is one of the nicest cabins in the industry.
Yep.
That being said, seats, what do you think?
So they're nice.
They look fantastic with the speaker. They look incredible.
They're very comfortable. The only thing is these side bolsters are so, like, they're adjustable, but the widest setting is not wide enough. Like, if you're a gym bro.
Yeah, like I noticed myself that first time I got in here, I was like, whoa, okay, the side bolsters are very tight, and I kind of had to adjust, like I have them as the widest setting, and I had to adjust how I sit in this. So basically, instead of kind of lounging like I usually do, I set the seats up so I'm basically pressing into them, which I find very comfortable now that I've gotten used to it, but definitely, I'm 5'7", 145 pounds. Yeah, if you're like a big gym bro, you'll be like, probably a couple of issues. Other than that though, infotainment-wise, we have this double screen that's pretty standard for the industry these days. Android Automotive, so it's Google Maps and all that is integrates into our screen. We have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay wireless. However, my Android Auto Google Maps didn't integrate into the screen for some reason. Sometimes there was a separate screen option, which would seem like it's for that, but it never displayed anything. So I don't know if this one is just a software bug. Anyhow, minor critique, although most of the time you're probably just going to use the built-in.
One more negative.
Yeah, they done the Escalade thing of giving us a stupid screen. That is like, why? Look at all this space for physical HVAC controls. And
then that would leave you with more space here for storage.
Yeah, but no, we have this screen, so you got to look down to do everything. It's very haptic feedbacky. And I guess, okay, it's nice once you're kind of on it, you're like, but it just doesn't, like, physical metal switches feel better, are easy to use. Yeah, you got some extra controls, and it's at least not as convoluted as the Escalade screen. It had like 8 different menus, but still. Oh, and speaking of, heated and ventilated, not simultaneous, just like in the Escalade, but it's a $130,000 car. This should have this, and we have massaging seats, although they're not as good. It's not as super fine, like punchy.
Also, I will say the sound system is not as good.
It's actually, I find it really good.
Good, but it's
fun.
Yeah. Okay. You think on par with the Escalade?
Do we do the class? Do we do the?
Oh yeah.
Are we doing the one?
Yeah, let's do it. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
This has also 32, 36, something 30 plus speakers in this thing. And it's also really good. Very enjoyable. So yeah, up front, I absolutely have, digital rear mirror.
Yay.
Love it. 0 complaints up front.
Yeah,
right. Fridge built-in, boys, if you want that. With
road beers. Kidding.
Exactly. 0% when you drive, never drink, or something like that. One minor complaint as a flip phone guy, this doesn't charge my phone. Like, it's like, no matter what I do and what position I'm in,
buy a real phone.
It would just, she was jealous that Apple doesn't have a flip phone.
Just wait.
Oh, it'll come.
It's gonna flip 7 ways.
And then, But yeah, that's a flip thing. It's not. I'm not blaming the car. But yeah, no, real nice second row experience.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. So much space.
Heated, ventilate. Yeah, heated, ventilated, not simultaneously. We have a tablet in the middle that honestly could also just be a low.
Yeah, I agree.
And the lumbar is only available through the screen, so you can't do that on the side. But otherwise,
more storage there as well.
More storage at the bottom and at the back.
4 USB-Cs.
Which is really good. Plenty of space. The only complaint I have is there are no sunshades.
Yeah, like come on. Just give us the little manual sunshade. What does it cost?
That's fine,
$20?
right? Like we said the same thing in the Escalade.
Add it to the price of the vehicle.
Give us the things, you know. I don't want to buy a little like Dollarama thing and just stick it on it. It's like Dollar Tree for all my Americans. But yeah, it's that. And you know what's the biggest surprise though?
The third row is probably the best third row I've ever sat in.
It's so good. Like I don't have any discomfort. Like second row and third row, you can make a point for like each one, like in terms of like where you want to sit. I think if you want to sleep, the third row is actually a little better because it's a little tighter. But you got USB-C, you got cup holders, you can recline back so far, plenty of space front and back,
and you can recline forward so far that it crushes your spine.
oh yeah, so there's no limit really on the moving it forward.
It'll just.
So you can literally crush yourself. So I don't know if there's a lockout for kids.
I mean, it's like a personal chiropractor, so.
Yeah, so that should really have a little, like, as soon as there's resistance, it should not go further forward. But yeah, just be careful. Maybe don't put your small children in there. Yeah. They'll crush themselves. But it's a big old SUV. Storage-wise, we got 22 cubic feet with the third row up, 59 cubic feet of space with the second row up, and all the way home at 101 cubic feet of space, which is about 20 cubic feet of space at the end, less than an Escalade non-ESV. But yes, it's still like if you really if you need more space, I don't know what you need.
My cargo van.
Yeah, exactly. And you can have the air suspension go up and down from the back. So little extra features. Oh, motor rest second and third row. Cool.
And of course,
big sunroof. Yeah. So
a lot going on here.
A lot of positives. I think the last thing where it really has to shine to make a case for itself is out on the road. Let's do that. All right, out on the road in the INFINITI QX80. Let's see if it can compete with the Yukon and the Escalade. We're going to brake torque it, sport mode.
It's going to be torquey. Not bad.
That's pretty good. Ah. You know what? The 9-speed is letting it down a little bit on the acceleration. But, I mean, it's still probably quick.
There's definitely some pumped-in sound, but that's okay.
Sounds good, though. And I'm not going to slow down here too hard. But we're going to see you in a second, actually. This is pretty torquey. That's pretty torquey. So we have a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 replacing the V8 of the last generation.
Not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it because we're producing 350 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque through a 9-speed, all 4 wheels, 4-wheel drive. And if you see, like here, I'm just going to cruise for a bit. And I'm going to step on it once we have found a gear. It's going to be like, I'm going to step on it and
goes.
It goes pretty well, and usually it doesn't do the double downshift. Like if you're going on the highway, that was just because we're probably not quite up to speed yet. The 9-speed is the weakest part in terms of acceleration, but you're not really having this for acceleration.
No.
I have absolutely zero complaints about this drivetrain. It's actually fairly fuel efficient. I don't have a number for you right now because I messed up the trip odometer a little bit.
It's below 15.
Yeah, and it's less than an Escalade will have. It's Navigator maybe on par with the V8 and V6 and Navigator, maybe a little below. But I've had trips where it was like all highway and it said like less than 11. So
which is crazy for something this size.
Yeah, and well, it's also, in terms of the drivetrain, like there's a bit of sound, but it's not a bad sound.
No.
It doesn't interfere in terms of like the refinement, and we're still in sport. It's actually nice. The 9-speed, maybe the Escalade's 10-speed is a touch smoother. Like I can feel some of the shifts, like very mild.
Hunting a little bit.
Yeah, but other than that, I got no complaints. But does it handle well? Back into sport mode we go. Screaming the V6 back to life. Let's see what it can do.
This thing's actually fast.
Yeah, right? It's not bad. Downshift. Understeer. Traction control killed us a little bit.
About as what you expect.
Which is plenty for what I want to do with an SUV like that. All right, put her back into standard. No complaints on the drivetrain front. How about refinement in daily driving with you behind the wheel?
Let's go.
Want ventilated seats?
Yeah.
Nope, let's heat it. Sorry. Let's put them on the lowest level though.
So first thing I want to talk about, because we just did a turn here, these turn signals are kind of annoying.
Yeah, they get like the old style BMW turn signals, which like always go back to the standard position. So if you indicate all the way, they go back, and then to cancel the indicator, you have to go halfway up the other side.
And then you don't see them in the infotainment because the steering wheel is blocking the signal.
Yeah,
so.
it's like right at the top of the gauge cluster, so you don't really see it, and the indicator is like, it's not very loud either. So I've had situations where I have the indicator on and didn't realize, and I've had situations where I didn't indicate, even though I tried to indicate when changing lanes, when you just want to do like the three tap one. So I was like you'll get used to it. It's just like, why are we still doing this in 2025?
Yeah.
Why haven't we figured out that indicators work the way everyone else does it?
Right.
Like, come on, guys. Anyhow, brake test. Well, smoothness test.
Well, not brake test, but
brake smoothness test. Brake calibration test.
No complaints. Perfect, actually.
Wonderful.
Like, pretty nice.
V6 test again, because it's so nice.
A little bit slower on the torque this time.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't really know what you're gonna get. It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably a mix out of sometimes it's in low revs and sometimes the 9-speed takes a little more time because we've had it like be almost instant at times where it just like goes, and then sometimes like earlier when we went out to the main road, it just kind of like downshift, turbo. That was better.
Yeah. I guess it depends on the speed and which gear you're in. Yeah,
but overall it's plenty fine.
Suspension. Pretty good. A little bit more firm than the Escalade, I think.
I think so. Yeah, especially over like here right now it's perfect. Any broken pavement, you do feel it a little more. I wouldn't call it uncomfortable.
No.
But you do feel a little more than the Escalade. And I think the same is also true for noise, where once again it is overall quiet. I wouldn't complain about it, but it just clocks in at just that little less refined than the Escalade will be. Yukon I would expect this to be about on par with the Yukon. Which deals with tech, which is actually something I did not expect. This has autonomous hands-free driving. Like Super Cruise, Blue Cruise age, so not like Tesla full auto thingy. But on the highway, on mapped highways, this can steer itself hands-free. It'll monitor your eyes.
No lane change?
No lane change. It'll prompt you to lane change, and then you can press that one little button. But then you have to manually take over, basically just assist it, which kind of negates the feature. It's still cool to have. Like overall, didn't expect this. Really nice to have, and it does take something away from Navigator and Escalade, where they would usually be like, okay, nobody else has this. But pricing is everything. We're looking at 128,500 Canadian, 112,500 US.
Still not cheap.
Still not cheap. So this was 4 years ago. A loaded Escalade would have been this price. Now the Escalade's 160, and I think US it's like 130 or something. So you're saving significantly. Over the Escalade, you're clocking in at about where a Yukon Denali will actually be. And if we're looking at that,
this is pretty compelling over the Yukon.
I agree. Like even if we just compared to the Escalade right now, interior-wise, do you lose out on anything?
No. Better massaging seats.
Better massaging seats, yeah.
Maybe a slightly better sound system.
Yeah,
arguably.
Okay. Yeah. And other than that, okay, it rides 5% worse. It's 5% noisier.
And it's a little bit slower to 60.
Yeah, and the transmission is 5% less smooth, maybe. so it's very close. Mm-hmm. And if I remember the Navigator versus Yukon comparison we did, that wasn't even close. The Navigator blew the Yukon out of the water. Yes, the Yukon is refreshed, and we haven't been in. Now it's pretty fast again.
There we go.
And for the same price, do I like the GMC brand a lot more?
Sure.
Yes, 100%. But if I spend 130 grand, I want something that is worth 130 or 110 US.
And you want to feel like you're not missing out.
No, and you are not missing out. I think this is an absolutely fantastic. I'm quite shocked actually.
Yeah, so am I.
And I'm not getting released by the seatbelt, but this is a very, very good luxury SUV. Infinity's done a great job. Now do this with the rest of your segment, or like the rest of your cars, and make them really good and really. I
feel like this is our first like Infinity Big W.
Yeah, Q50 was decent, but interior was horrendous. I had I had QX50 and QX55, which were just outdated. I liked the Q60, but it wasn't like, it was still a step down, just a good value.
But this is kind of a statement.
This is a statement, so hopefully a sign of things to come. Very good effort. And you guys let us know if you would pick this over Yukon Denali, and like even compared to the Escalade. Do you save the 30-40 Canadian, $1,000 and get this? Or do you really gotta have that Cadillac brand? Let us know. And that is the 2025 Infiniti QX80. Thank you for watching this video on JC Cars. Pure testosterone! Oh! What the is this piece of shit?
If you guys like the video, don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe.
Should I just drive into a tree now, or?
And we'll see you next Friday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern for a whole lot more fun. Bye-bye.